I've looked forward to checking out the King Seiko as soon as I saw pictures of it. Now, I have one in hand. This one is on loan from Brent Miller Jewelers in Pennsylvania. This is the SPB279J1. It's a made in Japan King Seiko coming in at 37 millimeters. It will have the 6R31 movement and a box sapphire crystal with a very sharp upgraded bracelet that's a little bit thicker, a little bit more rigid than what we're used to seeing from Seiko. And this watch will also be priced higher than most Seiko dress watches in the Presage family. This one retails at $1,700. So it's above Presage, but it's below Grand Seiko in overall retail price. And in my experience, in my years of being an unashamed Seikopath, of trying numerous models from their dress segment to their sport segment, I can confirm that this is nicer than your average Presage, but it's a little bit less just in the detail work and execution compared to a Grand Seiko, which you guys can see I'm wearing today. Now, this is a great move from the Seiko Epson Corporation. This makes sense from a business standpoint. And I think it may take a little while for average watch enthusiasts to get on board with this new tier within this brand, because many will want to keep saving for an entry-level Grand Seiko. Once you get close to $2,000, why not save another $1,000 or $1,500 and get an entry-level Grand Seiko? So I think there's going to be some that will do that. But on the long run, in the long haul, I think this is a good move, and it will be successful for the brand. It makes sense. You buy a watch for the first time at the entry-level price segment, and then you want to upgrade, and maybe you upgrade again as you get a promotion, or you graduate college, or you get a new job, and then you go luxury. Why not take a consumer's money from the Seiko Sports family on up to Grand Seiko and into Creedor in some instances? I think it just makes sense from a business standpoint, and I think it's cool that we're getting a good selection, a retro-inspired mid-sized watch from Seiko labeled King Seiko. Now let's take a look at the details here. We have a nice engraved King Seiko logo in the stainless steel case back, and I like seeing this closed case back as opposed to looking at the 6R31 movement within the watch. It is a 24 jeweled movement beating at 3 Hertz with a 70-hour power reserve, and will have an acceptable daily deviation of plus 25 seconds to minus 15 seconds per day, which is a very wide range for this price segment. Very disappointing, although in fairness, Seiko does underpromise and overdeliver. It's unlikely that you will get a watch that is running, close to 25 seconds fast or 15 seconds slow per day, but it is possible. So I like seeing this engraved case back better than seeing a very basic 6R family movement. I like the case lines, the clean finishing, the mostly brushed look, and the angular nature of these lugs. This is a very handsome watch. And this bracelet I mentioned, it's more of a solid feel. It's an upgraded bracelet. It's surprisingly thick and has well above average light play, especially in natural light. So this is not something that I'm used to with Seiko, being pleasantly surprised with their bracelet. I am with this King Seiko. Now, I like the King Seiko logo in the signed crown. I like the color options available for this model with sunray silver, with red or burgundy, with black, with brown, and with a boutique exclusive hitting stores this summer. It is a fume lavender, which I think has the potential to be the most beautiful, but sadly, it's a boutique exclusive. You can only get it at boutiques for Seiko, and I'm not a fan of that. Seiko is an inclusive brand for me and not an exclusive brand. I don't mind with Grand Seiko that they do limited exclusive boutique models from time to time, but I wouldn't want to see it on Seiko or King Seiko personally. Now let's go in on the dial on a macro level. I like the defined Dauphine style hands. They have good dimension to them. They're nice and long. I think they look sharp. I like the print work. I like the applied logo, the applied markers. And I really like the fact that this is a no date execution. So there is not a date wheel, throwing off the balance of the watch, the symmetry of the watch. It's all about the hours, minutes, and seconds. And that's something I like. But again, my favorite dial detail here is the micro texturing, the surprisingly defined micro texturing, the knurling found on the larger applied marker at the 12 o'clock position. Now, as far as fit, this does wear like a true 37 millimeter. So if you don't like that size, you will not like the way this watch wears. My wrists are 7.25 inches in circumference, so a little bit larger than average, and I can pull this off. I like this. This does not feel too tall, coming in at 12.3 millimeters in height. And I like seeing a little bit of that beautiful bracelet as it terminates around the wrist. This just feels proportional, though I wouldn't mind if it was a little bit larger. This does wear like a true 37. Now, this may be my personal bias coming through, being a bracelet fan, but I like this bracelet. I think it takes it up to the next level because it's surprisingly thick and solid. You get added weight with this watch on wrist, and you get a lot of added visual light play with the reflections coming off of these angles, and how this, just how this design ties in with these angular dominant lugs. I think this was a really good move on Seiko's part, and I like it. I'm going to grade this a very solid B. I'm not going to give it an A, mainly for the movement. This is a little bit disappointing to get a 6R movement in a watch that's $1,700 full retail. And so I think Seiko, again, the idea of doing an upgraded watch that is nicer than Presage but below Grand Seiko, that's a great business move. But for the value, this should be a 6L35 and not a 6R31. The SJE073 from a couple years ago was a little over $2,000 full retail, and that had a 6L35 movement in, which is a joy to look at. It's very well executed, very well finished. And so that's something for Seiko to consider to improve the model and take this up to an A in the market and not a B. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you very much for watching today. Reach out with any specific questions you may have. And if you're looking to purchase a King Seiko or any other Seiko or Grand Seiko, my recommended authorized dealer is in the description of the video, Brent Miller Jewelers in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So shout out to the team there, to Brad out in Lancaster. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.